Parthaban, Parthi, is an animal rescuer and a cafe owner. Lives with his wife, Satya, son, Sadhu, and daughter, Chintu. Joshi, a forest ranger and Parthi's friend, calls him one day to help tame a spotted hyena that threatens the townspeople. With Sadhu's help, Parthi manages to tranquilize the hyena. He purposely avoids public attention over this incident and adopts the hyena after it calms down. One night, Parthi and Chintu are at the cafe when Shanmugham, a robber, and his men arrive to rob it. Parthi tries to appease them by giving them money, but one of the gang members makes a move on his employee, Shruti. Enraged, Parthi beats up all of them. When one of them attempts to kill Chintu, Parthi guns all of them down without hesitation but later has an emotional breakdown. Initially arrested, they release Parthi for having committed the murders in self-defense, but his photograph appears in newspapers all over India. A notorious gangster, Harold Das, in Telangana, sees the image and informs his elder brother, Anthony Das, about him. Anthony immediately leaves with his men for Theog. Meanwhile, Shanmugam's relatives attempt to kill Parthi and his family, prompting him to request a high-ranking, armed police officer from Tamil Nadu to protect him and his family. In response to Parthi's request, Napoleon, promoted recently, is assigned to safeguard his family. On meeting Parthi, Anthony insists that Parthi is his son, Leo Das, who was presumed to be dead, but Parthi vehemently denies this. Anthony threatens him to accept his identity and surrender or face the consequences. Anthony meets Satya and tells her that Leo is a mass murderer, prompting her to dig into Parthi's past. At the same time, Joshi starts digging into Leo's past and learns about his friend, Hridayaraj D'Souza, who was arrested and is to hang in 3 days. On meeting with Hridayaraj, Joshi learns about Leo's alleged past. In 1999, Anthony established a tobacco factory called Das & Company. Harold returned to India from Canada and started manufacturing and smuggling datura, a drug significantly more lethal than cocaine, using the factory as a front as their tobacco products did not take off. Anthony's twin children, Leo and Eliza Das, did the dirty work for them to run the business smoothly. Being a firm believer in the occult, Anthony tried to sacrifice Eliza based on his astrologer's advice, as this would have allowed their tobacco products to take off. Enraged, Leo sets fire to all of Harold's drugs, but Harold manages to kill Eliza, and Anthony shoots Leo, who was since presumed to be dead. On hearing this, Joshi believes that Parthi is not Leo, while Satya also gets definitive proof of the same conclusion. Meanwhile, Anthony kidnaps Sadhu and tells him that he will sacrifice Sadhu as he cannot sacrifice Eliza with his own hands. Parthi and Napoleon give chase to Anthony and his men, and Parthi eventually catches up with them. He finishes off Anthony and his men but does not find Sadhu. Harold learns about Anthony's death and calls Parthi to bring Anthony's body in return for Sadhu. As Parthi goes to Harold's lair, Harold reveals that he has sent men to kill Satya and Chintu. However, Napoleon, Joshi, and the hyena finish off all the men. Harold's men attack Parthi at their lair, but he fends them off. As Harold and Parthi engage in a fistfight, Parthi grabs a gun and holds Harold at gunpoint. At this point, Harold gets convinced that Parthi is not Leo and states that he and his family can walk away freely. However, Parthi starts laughing and finally admits he is Leo before gunning down Harold, rescuing Sadhu and torching the entire Das & Company factory. Leo states that he has done nothing good in his past, and anyone who insists on knowing his story must either die or already be dead, thus revealing that he had told Anthony the truth about his identity before killing him. In an epilogue, as peace returns to Parthi's life, he gets a phone call. The caller reveals that he knows Parthi is Leo and tells him that destroying only his family's datura factory was not enough to make society drug-free.